The man who hugged me longest at the funeral was the man who made the call. I didn't know it then, I know it now. That's the tuition. Some lessons only come after the loss that teaches them.
I used to read intentions like I read the weather, sometimes wrong. Gave the benefit of doubt to men who spent their benefit on knives. Opened doors for people who were mapping out the interior, counting what I had and calculating how to take it while they smile. The closest ones will hurt you in the language that you taught them. Every vulnerability you share becomes a blueprint for the wound. The man who knows your history knows exactly where to press. He doesn't need a weapon, he's got everything you told him in that room. Watch the ones who volunteer their loyalty too quickly. Loyalty that costs nothing is worth exactly that. Watch the ones who need to know your movements and your dealings. Curiosity dressed up as care is just surveillance, wearing a different hat. I don't say this from resentment, I say this from the archaeology of every scar I carry. Every one of them was signed by someone who at some point called me brother. Trust nobody, not the smile, not the scripture, not the hand that's always there, not the voice that makes it softer. Trust the pattern, trust the history, trust the silence under pressure, trust the way a man behaves when there is nothing left to offer. Trust nobody, not completely, not forever, even the ones who earned it. Verify. The grave is full of men who made exceptions for the one exception they should never, ever, ever, ever have let slide. Trust nobody, not as bitterness, not as armor, as a practice, as a discipline, as the reason you're still here. The sharpest blade I ever felt came wrapped in years of dinners. Came from a man who knew my mother's name and my son's birthday. Came with history and context, came with genuine affection. And it still came because the price was right and principle decays. That's the part they don't prepare you for in any code of conduct. That the ones who betray you are rarely strangers with bad faces. They're the ones with photographs inside your house, the ones who know which chair is yours, the ones who've been to all the places. So I learned to hold a version of myself, I'm the version that I show. Even in the room of men I die for, and I mean it. There are chambers in my architecture they will never get to know. Not because I doubt them in a way that makes me cold, but because a man who gives away every room inside him has no place left to go. When that temperature changes, and it always changes, and the ones you least expected are the ones who change it most. This isn't paranoia, paranoia is irrational. This is pattern recognition built from evidence accumulated over years of paying attention. The man I am today was assembled from the wreckage of the man who trusted fully. He was a good man, that version, generous, open, convinced that people were essentially what they presented. He was wrong enough times that I had to rebuild from different materials. Harder ones, not because the world deserves my coldness, but because some version of me had to survive it to still be here writing this. So I watch, I always watch, not with suspicion on my face, not with distance in my manner. I watch the way a man who's been burned enough learns to stand near the fire without leaning in. I give what the situation requires, I withhold what the situation doesn't deserve. And somewhere in the middle, I maintain a room that has no door, that anybody living has a key to. That room is mine, it's the last sovereign territory that no alliance, no affection, no years of shed history will ever have the deed to. Not because I stopped believing in people, but because I finally understood that believing in someone and handing them the last key are two very different things, and only one of them has ever cost me everything. Everything.